Hey guys and girls, Epsilon here with another episode of Let's Build a Fleet Sci-Fi Edition. Now today we're doing the Daedalus, or the BC-304 Deep Space Carrier Battlecruiser. Now, it won't be filling those roles, it'll be filling the multi-role role, and I have many reasons for that, but first we're going to go into detail. Now the BC-304 was the second generation of ships made by the Tauri. The Tauri are what the humans are called in the Stargate universe. Now the BC-304 had a length of 225 meters, a width of 95 meters, and a height/depth of 75 meters. So, in ship terms, in most universes it's a relatively small ship, but it still had a decent size for kind of the time period and era it was built in for Stargate. It had a maximum speed of 150,300,225 miles per hour, or miles per second actually, sorry, which is absolutely insane, which is obviously at light speed. But this ship is generally a really quick ship at sublight. It's very maneuverable too, which is why it's one of my favourite ships to watch go into fights, especially in Stargate Atlantis. See it zipping around the hive ships, firing its railguns off. Now, the engine units it had was thrusters, a sublight drive, and an Asgard hyperdrive. It was powered by a Naquadah generator, which I don't know exactly how it works, but it uses sort of a reaction with Naquadah to produce massive amounts of power. Nothing compared to a ZPM, but we'll get into that later. This ship had Asgard shields and a Naquadah/trinium hull. Now if you don't know who the Asgard shields are, I will go into a video, or Asgard are, sorry, I will go into a video about that later. It also came with Asgard sensor arrays, Earth targeting systems, and Earth computer navigational systems. Its armaments consisted of 32 railguns and 16 missile tubes, and it also came with several variants of nuclear missiles. Other systems included the Asgard transporters, a long-range transmitter, and the transport ring system, shown in Stargate, what is made by the Goa'ulds, or stolen by the Goa'ulds, depending on what they didn't steal and what they stole, because they stole a lot of ancient technology. Now the roles of the ship, like mentioned before, was a battlecruiser/deep space carrier. It could carry 18 to 16 F-302s, which were the humans' variant of fighter craft, or strike fighter in my opinion, which also came with its own mini hyperdrive and could be fitted to fire nukes, but was apparently a very complicated process. The Daedalus specifically was captained by Colonel Stephen Caldwell, but we're just going to use the Daedalus class rather than the Daedalus itself. And the Daedalus class most notably had the Odyssey, the Apollo, the Daedalus, many more. I think the Russian one was called the Korolev or something like that. I probably butchered that name completely, but you know what I mean. It also, on a refit, came with Asgard plasma beam weapons, and let's say this, they are ridiculously powerful. It also could be modified to fly on a ZPM, which is a zero-point module in the Stargate universe, and it holds energy in sort of a vacuum space. Please see Stargate Atlantis for Rodney McKay's lovely explanation on what a ZPM is. I would just butcher it, like I've said already. Now, this ship has made multi-role in the sci-fi fleet because of several reasons. It comes equipped with basically anything you'll need. Like, if you wanted it to do long-range scouting, it's very fast and get away, it's powerful enough to take on most vessels, and has a fighter complement. If you needed it to escort your ships, it would do that. It would make a lovely fighter screen, being able to deploy its own fighters, and 32 railguns, rapid-fire railguns, that would literally be anti-fighter material. They'll just rip through anything, basically. Now, if it does come into a fight with something a little bit nastier, obviously it's got its missile tubes and nuclear missiles, and its Asgard beam weapons, so that's why I think it makes the ideal multi-role ship, because it's fast, maneuverable, perfect for taking on fighters and larger vessels. It also can be used for quick rescues with its transporter beams. It can also be used for it's just generally a multi-purpose ship. Like, it can do anything: carry, fight, escort. But I'd probably even say it could do a blockade run if it wanted to, because Asgard shields are pretty powerful and it is a very fast ship. It's very nifty too. If you've seen Stargate Atlantis, you'll see some of the maneuvers it pulls off, like dodging hive ships. Now, another thing it can also do is take on much larger vessels by beaming a nuclear warhead inside the enemy vessel, which it did several times in Stargate Atlantis, until the Wraith figured out how to jam it. Now, the Asgards don't particularly like this tactic, but it worked. So this is all the reasons why this ship makes the multi-role in my fleet. I hope you've enjoyed. I've been Epsilon. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments and opinions down in the description.